believe that you're totally unarmed. And
exactly. But the good news is people are buying guns everywhere that can,
right.
Because people understand that you know, the rubber meets the road individually, and we don't want to end up like New York or Chicago. Larry Grathwohl, thank you so much for joining us. Give people your website one more time.
Larry101st.blogspot.com. But I'm asking for donations that I can follow Mr. Ayers around and question him when he gives his speeches. And, you know, Alex, that might be something that you want to think about. Wouldn't that be a great video? Me confronting Bill Ayers, and listen, I'd love to do it if I could find somebody to set it up for me. I've tried.
Sure, people should contact you. You can track where he's going to be speaking, being worshipped by lots of little rich trust fund kids.
I know where he is. I know where he's going.
Well, we have listeners everywhere. They should contact you, and everywhere he goes, he should be confronted in public places.
Absolutely.
And I mean, not just by you. Everybody should do it.
Yes.
Because you know, he is a real piece of trash.
Yes. I thank you for having me on your show, and I appreciate everything, and God bless you, and God bless America.
All right, thank you. Absolutely second that. Larry Grathwohl, there he goes. We're going to come back and delve into the nightmare TSA activities. They are very busy little beavers. The Houston free thinkers detained by DHS at the RNC. TSA takes over bus stations in Tampa. DHS agents threaten journalists. But not just that, Ron Paul. They came after him and said he might have a bomb or something. He might be a threat to Romney. Can't make this up. TSA harasses Ron Paul. The worst drought in 50 years. There is fellow patriot Jimmy Vaughn bringing us in.
I look at you.
Derrick Broze is a founding member of the Houston Free Thinkers and a partner with We Are Change Houston and host of the Resistance Radio with freedomizerradio.com. And he joins us here on the air from a car there in Tampa, Florida, with some of his fellow compatriots, evil freedom lovers who aren't left or right but just want freedom. And he joins us right now. Again, we'll get more into this. We're also going to get an update from what's happening with the hurricane with folks there on the ground. But we're also going to break this down after the next break. TSA harasses Ron Paul and his wife in Florida. Big article Kurt Nimmo did. Just amazing to see what they're up to. We'll tell you about that. But here it is, the TSA now on the streets, running around, wanting to search people. So you're not getting away from people that aren't even police. I mean, the police setting up checkpoints is illegal and evil and horrible and dangerous and a threat to freedom. But now it's the TSA and going after journalists. We heard Julio, we had on up in Chicago, filmed them running checkpoints, and a week later they ran over to him at a restaurant and got in his face and said, "You don't tape us, boy." I mean, this is North Korea if they have their way. So going to Derrick. Derrick, tell us what happened to you. Tell us what you're seeing there at the RNC.
Yeah, thank you for having us on, Alex. So we've been out here, me, Micah, and our cameraman Cody, we've been out here documenting the protests, the counter-protests, the RNC, and also talking to delegates inside and just videotaping the police state. We had finished documenting some protests that were happening, so we decided to go walk around and just do a perimeter check. And we were walking through the city. We were actually miles away from the Tampa Bay Times Forum itself where the RNC is being held. And we just happened to walk up to a Greyhound station, and we noticed a sign on the outside that said TSA screening notice. And it notified everybody that they would be going through there, that they would be searched by the TSA. So we started to film our live stream into videotape. We opened the doors, and you can see on the video we show there's 4 or 5 TSA agents and local cops as well in there waiting to search people who choose to ride the Greyhound. After that, we decided to go look around a little more because Micah noticed that a DHS Federal Protective Service car that was parked on the block right there where the Greyhound station was, he'd stuck his hand out and took pictures of us with his phone. So we wanted to get a closer look, and we decided to go across the street. And when we did so, we started walking on the side of the first DHS car and taking pictures of the license plate, and 2 more SUVs pulled up and cornered us and stopped us right there, and they immediately started demanding papers from us, asking us for identification, and
Yeah, because if you're trying to aim cameras at the cops, you must be bad. They teach them this in these training videos. They teach them that journalistic activity is terrorist activity, and it's just pure intimidation, and it's having the opposite effect of what they'd wish. It's so ridiculous when I've had cops come 100 yards over to me and say, turn that camera off, and I'm just like, no. And it's just, I mean, they are totally helping destroy this country when they act like this.
Yeah, it's exactly right, Alex. And we tried to reach out to them to talk to them and let them know. I was telling them, like, I don't agree with you. You know, we've talked to you before about we don't carry ID on us, and we exercise that right not to. They demanded papers. We told them we didn't want to give them any papers. We offered our names and our birth dates, but they said they didn't want anything from us other than identification and that they were federal officers and they could detain us for 72 hours if we didn't show them papers.
They just absolutely love the power trip as they sit there acting like you're terrorists because you want to videotape TSA down the street. Continue. But, hey, you guys got TSA kicked out of Houston. They're big rollouts, so you've got the power. That's what they know. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's why we were filming the TSA there, because that's a big issue for them, and we want to reach out to whoever's active in Tampa and let them know that you can get rid of the TSA and the Greyhound and the Metro and such.
Yeah, they don't want people knowing and seeing what's happening. They want to roll it out before we know because we're seen as an enemy, and you don't want your enemy knowing what you're doing. Go ahead.
Certainly not, Alex. And so the other vehicles pulled up on us, demanded papers. We said that we did not want to give them, but with 72 hours of detention, I gave my license, and we stated on film that we were doing it under duress, and we asked them for their identity, and they wouldn't give us their badge numbers.
Yeah,
or,
secret police. Yeah. Well, don't worry. The foreign banks will take their bank accounts, and they won't get any ID on that either. Their kids will get cancer too from the fluoride, but they don't care. Go ahead.
No, they don't care, as was evident in the video.
But listen, they're going to get what they want. These are just mindless fools of the system. Stay there. We're going to come back and talk about it. I mean, they want to live in North Korea. They want to live in Mexico. And they will get what they want. Because, you know, when the protections of the Bill of Rights and Constitution are gone, everything's gone. But right now, they're just having fun being the boss. All right, we're talking to some folks from the Houston Free Thinkers. You know, they're evil Americans. They had highway checkpoints out on the street, at the little bus stops, at the bus terminals. TSA was searching people. TSA was trying to search bags. And, you know, like evil Americans that didn't want to live in Nazi Germany or Soviet Russia, you know, like movies like Red Dawn, the bad guys have checkpoints and do that. They're like, hey, we don't want this. You're out of your jurisdiction. You're violating the 4th and 10th Amendment. Get out of here. And the city, for now, has backed off. But these evil Americans traveled to where the puppets were meeting. They're in Tampa, and I've seen other journalists just trying to film, or even citizens just out filming the hurricane at the beach, and cops come up. What are you doing filming? Again, we're going to film you. We're going to have the NSA wiretap you without warrants for your safety while we ship narcotics in, of course. But if you dare, you know, try to film the TSA, oh, no, sir. Again, they've been told, go after journalists, go after journalists. They're afraid of it. They know what's happening. I mean, I've got 2 new videos of police body slamming women, kicking men in the throat for no reason other than the fact they got into the job because they're sadists. And again, police need to kick these bad cops out. The problem is from on top, we got a federal government that staged Oklahoma City and 9/11. We got a federal government that's illegitimate. We got a federal government that ships the narcotics in and has been caught and staged Fast and Furious. And so these arrogant guys they have such satisfaction. They're not scared of these guys. They know these are reporters. And they've just got satisfied looks on their faces in their black uniforms, hands in their belts. I can disappear you if I want. Well, the bankers are going, we're going to devalue your dollar and gut your country, and you're drinking fluoride's going to kill you. Hey, those up above you, they agree with you. But you have no idea. You know, you're not really evil. You're just thugs. You're bullies. You're goons. You're jokes. You're nobodies. You come from a bad family. Your daddy acted like you. Your granddaddy did. You were trash. You weren't successful. We get it. You're not winners. We got your number. We know who you are. You're called tyrants. You're called suck-ups. I'm sorry. If you're not threatened by this type of activity to journalists, you want to move to North Korea. You want to move to China, communist China. You like tyranny? Get out of my country. Get out of my country. Let's go back to the evil American scum, Derrick Broze and crew. So continue with what they did to you.
Yeah, so Alex, they started demanding ID from us. As we said before, Micah gave his ID. I don't even carry ID with me. I just happen to have my birth certificate with me. And after, them demanding it from us and threatening 72 hours of detainment, I relented, and we said on our live stream, like Micah said, we're doing this under threats from them. So we gave them my birth certificate and Micah's ID, and while they were running our information, they were taking pictures of us and just asking questions.
Yeah, putting you in a pickup list database like they do everybody now. I think you've got two wireless devices going too close to each other. There's a buzzing. You might move your equipment apart a little bit so we can get your audio clear.
Thank you. Yeah, we got that right there. Yeah, so we started trying to talk to them. We talked to them. I told them, I respect you as human beings, but we don't respect what you're doing. You're violating our rights. We're just walking around filming the fence, the perimeter fence that they had there, and they declared that it was federal property, that we were filming federal property, and we stepped onto the street off the fence, and they said that the entire state of Florida was essentially federal property.
Yeah, like Derrick just said, we asked them, where the property was. Was it just this parking garage that was behind us? And they said, where do you pay your taxes to? And he answers himself and saying, the federal and the state government, right? And these streets, as soon as you came into Florida, you came on the federal property. And then he goes ahead, and once they finish the field interview with me, and they're telling me I can go ahead and leave, they tell me to leave the property, and I'm kind of curious, where that is, that the boundary of the state of Florida. But, I wasn't going to walk off and leave because we had another incident where they wanted to further violate our Fourth Amendment rights by searching Derrick's bag, and I stood there and filmed that.
Listen, I want to talk to you guys further, but either your alternator running is throwing RF into the transmission, or you've got another video stream going right by your other wireless system. I saw you move something back and it went away, but whoever is doing it stuck it back in there. We'll just do this on air here. Can you guys, move the RF generators away from each other?
Yeah, make sure we've got everything.
Yeah, whoever did that, whatever just happened made your transmission clear. I want to be able to hear from you. So what else is happening there in Tampa?
Well, there's as everybody's been reporting, the cops outnumber the protesters probably more than 20 to 1. I think what happened in 2008, the RNC with Brandon Darby and the federal entrapment of protesters and the threats of anarchists and IEDs and all these different DHS threats has scared off a lot of people. The numbers just aren't here. There's really, sadly to say, not a lot of people here to protest the Republican Party, and those who are here are also calling for Obama as the solution.
Well, that's right, and that's why there's no protest in North Korea, is because they arrest you and harass you if you do. And this is the intention of hiring provocateurs to throw bottles from the back so they can attack protesters in Seattle when the numbers were 80,000. The next protest, they're 50,000. The next protest, they're 20,000, 10,000, 5,000, 1,500. They're destroying freedom nationwide, scientifically, and I hope they enjoy what they've done for their children. It is social engineering, and so I guess the only people they're protesting, you're saying, are Obama type people.
Yeah, there's definitely some Obama supporters. There's a few people we've spoke to who see past the two-party system. We've been making sure to go to every protest, every action we can, and when we're hearing people call for Obama or Romney, we're going around screaming, no, Obama, get rid of the two-party system, break your chains both right and left, trying to get people to think past the two-party paradigm. And that's been our main job here, is to document everything and to bring awareness to the people who maybe see that the Republicans are screwing us over, but the Democrats are part of it as well, and just trying to get them to look past the whole system and to look to the community for more solutions.
So what did these federal goons have to say to you? Any other little points? They look really satisfied, like they are enjoying frustrating the First Amendment with extreme relish.
Yeah, so as Micah said, they started asking to go through my bag. They asked if they could go through there, and we went back and forth for a few minutes.